Okay.
Podium finish.
Yeah,
baby.
dude. What'd you say? Podium finish?
Podium
Nice.
finish. Better than third place.
Damn, we should take a picture called Podium Finish, but like us, like
finishing.
like pretend. I was gonna say like pretending to fuck or whatever.
I
like
have all kinds of different like lotions and hand soap up there. It looks like
Write that down.
Low
I had
Oscar.
such bad. Speaking of BO, dude, some about my armpit smelled so bad earlier today, and it's.
Glad I clicked Audacity right before you walked over there.
And then
Right on your big head.
Imagine this is people's first view of me, and then I walk in the camera with my much bigger head,
And then smack your head on the thing, the thump.
Like projecting as much. God damn.
Oh.
That's funny to think about. Okay, so I have this movie idea. So I want to tell you about the lunch that I have with my friends a little bit today. Hold on.
Perfect. Yeah, make sure you're in the mic.
I know, what the fuck? I can't figure out my headphones. Okay, that's okay. We're good. We're in. Okay, so the movie idea that I've been having for a long time, it started a long time ago, but became a lot more real to me when I was house sitting for my friend Haley, who I worked with in the group home. And ever since then, I've realized a need and wanted to make a movie about caregivers, DSPs, people that do what I do. There's a lot of us. There's not a great movie about it. There's a couple that kind of have, talked about it or whatever, but there's none that are really about that in a way that is like all the stories that are similar are about like somebody went to jail and as part of their community service, they had to coach a basketball team or some shit. It's not like I chose to do this with my life and what that's like and how hard and...
Or it's about the people the DSPs are taking care of. It's not
Right.
about the DSPs.
Yeah, and
Peanut Butter Falcon's an example of this.
Yeah, it's-
Dakota Johnson was the DSP, essentially.
Yeah,
but it wasn't about her.
Right.
She's just the best-looking character in that film.
Yeah, she's beautiful, but that's a great movie, but obviously, but I just have seen, and not only that, but I felt like, number one, I like ideas. I like coming up with creative ideas. I like talking about this shit. And also I have so much experience doing this that I think I'd be a good candidate to at least be a part of making this movie and be part of this. And one of the characters that I wanted to get was Harry, which is one of the guys that I got a Polaroid of. He's why I brought it up at lunch today, is because I was talking to somebody who knows him, who's known him for like 38 years, worked at Fairview with this guy. You know what Fairview is, that place that shut down. They worked at Fairview together, so they've known each other like almost 40 years. I met Harry a few years ago when I was working at SACU. He was like he just loved telling stories. He's such an interesting guy. He's like a drunk, but he's just so much fun. He's just so much fun to talk to. He's a wild guy. He looks way older than he is. Like has lived a hard life, but it just has stories and stories and stories. And when I think of this movie, one of the scenes that I know I want to have is a campfire scene. Do you know what I mean? And one of the DSPs, an older DSP, telling stories and being wild and like having this scene. Like I think that's a beautiful scene that could happen.
I know personally the guy that started the adult foster home industry in Oregon.
Wow, fascinating. I'd love to talk to him. Maybe about this movie. It'd be interesting. But
He has dementia.
Okay, I'd still love to talk.
The talk won't be very long.
That's all right. I got time. I'm patient, but. Anyway, so it's just fascinating. Like, so I wanted to get Harry in it, so that's why he's in my Polaroid project. The picture's called Harry's House. But I was talking to Kathy today. This is my point.
For Monsters Inc. Harryhausen.
What's that? Is that really from that?
That's the restaurant, yeah.
Really?
Just a little place I like to call Harryhausen. She's like, Harryhausen?
Oh, like because it's so fancy?
Mikey? Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that at all.
Anything for you, schmoopsy poo.
Wow, that's so funny, schmoopsy poo. That's so funny.
So your title already has
it's
some
Harry.
weight.
The reason I called it that is it was taken at Harry's house the first time I'd ever been there, and it was there, and it was like a barbecue, and there were so many people there. None of us knew each other, but we all, like a few of us did, but like everybody knew Harry. It was just like this thing that it wasn't for him or anything. It's just I'm fascinated by the fact that this guy is just connected to all these different people, tell stories. Like everybody has a different version of Harry in their head, but every one of us, I bet, has a storyteller version of that's
yeah.
There's just
people
these
like that. You have to.
Yeah, and it's like, and dude, we went on a van ride to go take this kid to an appointment like in Portland. This is the first time I ever really talked to him. And he was telling me all these stories, and we're 45 minutes probably into this hour-long car ride, and this and the
We're not outside, guys.
that's okay. Yeah, no, we're not. But so we're on the way to this, and we're 45 minutes into this drive, and I ask him, he's telling me stories the whole time about how this happened and that happened. He rolled this car and he flipped that thing, and it's just all this crazy shit. And I look at him finally, nice. And
Wow.
I look at him finally, and I go, how are you alive? I literally asked him, I go, how? Like,
That's some Ryan shit.
no, it literally
My
is.
kid asked the same
Dude,
thing.
Dude.
You're like, who gave you a driver's license?
Yeah,
Like-
no, it's just like how, like, it's just so many just this guy has to be in it, right? And so I was talking to Kathy about it, and I was telling her about this, and I was telling her that that's why he was in my Polaroid project. And she was being so sweet, like really nice, and she told me one thing that was, she said, I told her, I talked to her about how I get embarrassed telling people about my Polaroids and about these different things. And she goes, yeah, but it's just us. Like, just dismissed it completely. And I was telling Natalie this today. I go, sometimes having people dismiss your feelings is helpful, because some feelings are dysmorphic to some degree, deserve to be dismissed as fleeting feelings. You know what I'm saying? This is a much more nuanced conversation like we usually like to have about the word feelings, because you could be like, fuck your feelings or whatever. I just mean, like, for me, sometimes I get embarrassed about talking to people that I shouldn't get embarrassed in front of. There is a weird thing about where, like, I get embarrassed talking about this stuff to even people I know who like it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense logically. And she said that, and it was just so like, but it's us. And it was freeing for me. I went, wow, that was nice of you to say that. And we talked about it at lunch. But anyways, the movie idea, it was a fun kind of reinvigoration of that idea. I've spent so much time talking about the Polaroids and stuff but that's a movie I would love to make, that I think I would know how to make it. It would be the Peanut Butter Falcon movie I watch all the time. I like read the script. Remember we pulled up the script that one day on Google? It's just on there, the script for Peanut Butter Falcon. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I would love to get back to watching the movie and reading the script as I do it, just to learn how to write a script and what that looks like. I think that would be helpful for me. But I would love to write that movie and have that scene, and like, it was just fun to talk about today. And that really like reignited that in me, because that when I first thought of it, when I house sit for Haley, was probably a year ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. It was like a while. And I'd always wanted to make this movie, but I remember being at her house and just it really being like, it was just me watching a movie and like whatever, brought some to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just sitting there having an idea. But it just hit me where I went,
I could do that,
I
and I could do it well because I know it.
I just went where like, hey, why not me? Why? If I wanted to do that, I think I could do that. And it became real, and I started to allow myself to think about what the scenes would really look like and what the tangible steps would be to get me from here to an opportunity to at least be involved with.
Talk to John Nissen. He's in Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah. It's true. He you know what's so interesting? He lives.
I know Troy Loney.
He lives like 5 minutes from. He lives in the city that I lived in.
Wow.
He lives in. Isn't that interesting?
Troy Loney's a guy I know that was on the TV show
Big name.
Leverage.
Okay.
Leverage. So
Nice.
a lot of it was filmed in Portland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tim Hutton.
I've never heard of Leverage, but it's probably a good show and
Very,
popular.
very good show.
Yeah.
Not super popular, but it's a very good show.
Okay,
and
yeah.
he was an extra on a lot of the scenes. He was a stunt coordinator. He's been plugged in Hollywood for years. And he owns a business in Starling Carpet. Coolest dude.
Yeah.
One of the coolest, named after the hockey player. One of the coolest dudes.
What was his name?
Troy Loney.
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 Which one of Troy or Loney is named after a hockey player? That one completely flew over my head. The fact that you have a sports reference that I don't know is pretty interesting. Troy Loney, there he is.
Canadian former professional ice hockey left winger.
Okay, nice. He's named after the hockey player Troy Loney.
Yeah.
Wow, so they have the same first and last name.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Let's do Troy Loney.
IMDb, that's hilarious. He's on there probably.
Yeah, he is right here.
Yeah, there he is. Leverage, libraries, liberations. What is it?
The librarian, I believe.
Is it really?
Leverage, the librarians, and Dead Files.
In subtext.
Yep.
Nice.
The librarians, he was set production assistant, Bounty Hunter Project.
Yeah, nice.
Leverage on
So
set
this guy's
production.
going to help me make this movie, you're saying? Is that why we
I know him.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. He's got connections in the industry, but
I think I would like to learn how to write a script and try to write that. I think that'd be a fun exercise.
I've had the same thought recently, but akin to my industry. I've been thinking about making a movie about a bank heist,
Okay.
where it's like these group of guys are getting all set up. You've probably never seen it, but the movie 999.
No.
Oh, so good.
Okay.
But they do like this bank heist in the beginning. They're all vets and they're all together. Some of them are cops at the time, and they're busting in this bank full of people and stealing millions of dollars.
Nice.
And I would like to make a movie
For that behavior.
Well, I would like to make a movie that's very differently done than a lot of other styles of filming that I've seen, where the first 30, 40 minutes of the film is about these guys and getting ready and then going and executing the bank heist and then getting fucking stopped dead in their tracks by like a security personnel that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
And then it like shoot out, boom, blank screen. And then it wakes up with the security guy in the hospital, and then the movie becomes about him.
One? Is this not the original? I'm not saying is it a remake, but I mean, is there other movies that this is kind of like a same style of?
There's bank heist movies, a lot
that
of
have
them.
this same kind of formula.
Yeah, no, the bank heist and then plotting it and planning it and going in and getting in a gunfight, yes. But then it shifts after the black screen, after like a huge shootout, big fight.
A climax or whatever.
Right. And then it shifts to a black screen with the security guy waking up in the hospital.
Okay.
Or waking up that morning or waking up a week before and what led up to this.
Gotcha,
And then making the film about the security guy and how he was really good at his work and was able to stop these professionals from coming in.
Gotcha.
And I think that'd be kind of
That's
cool.
what you want to make.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool.
You want to make it from the security guard's perspective.
They always make security movies super fucking cheesy and stupid. There's a couple of them that are about security, and they're so corny.
This is so interesting.
And they always portray security people as the pussies. The guards always come in and immediately take the security guys, and security guys don't do anything, and they're always fat, and they always look the same, and they're fat or they're old. They don't have the respect in the industry.
They look like
shit.
the Night at the Museum security guards.
Yeah, yeah, dude. They look like Paul Blarts.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. It's like I would love to see somebody that's in my profession.
Yeah.
That does things that I do and have a film about it, but make the audience believe it's about the bank heist. Make a really good series about this.
You want to see yourself on film.
I want to see what the industry has portrayed in a cool manner on film for people to be like, wow, that guy was cool.
Yeah.
You watch John Wick and they're like, holy crap, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And do something similar to that, but make it in a different filming style where you make the audience believe it's about a bank heist, but it's really not. It's about a guy that stopped the bank heist. Yeah. And a week prior, he just had a baby. His wife just had a baby or something. Yeah. And struggling to make the house loan, and he's working in a bank for $30 an hour or whatever, and just another regular day. And boom, these guys rush in, and he's got to just go from standing there, smiling at people to fucking go time.
Yeah.
But that was the initial premise. But there's all kinds of other ideas that could turn into that.
It's so interesting that your idea comes from seeing a specific version of your thing over and over and over, done a different way than the way you would do it.
Right.
Whereas mine comes from I haven't seen any movie really tackle this at all.
Right.
And this is how I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we both came to our version of it.
I haven't seen anybody tackle security in a positive light either.
Right, but they've talked about it.
Right.
I haven't seen even a movie about being a DSP. We're just talking about positions, like jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying this as a victim thing. I'm just saying it's interesting that that we come at it. We both arrived to our authentic version of this story or of this perspective, but we came at it from. You came at it from being like, oh, yeah, this is... Like, I'm maybe into these movies, but I'd love to make this from this perspective and have it go this way. Whereas I'm like...
Just shift.
I just haven't seen this... Yeah, exactly. A shift a different way than the audience is maybe used to it shifting because they're used to
them
it
just being like, oh,
thing.
this is just a regular shoot-'em-up heist movie, blah, blah, and then just shift completely to a different gear and captivate them with a, whoa.
Yeah. That's so
leave
interesting.
them wondering, So,
yeah, that'd be cool.
You can use AI to write scripts.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
You write it. You have ChatGPT 4.0 write it.
Yeah.
And then you go through and re-edit it. It's how I write policy.
Yeah.
I write a 42-page...
Well, but a policy is way different than writing a movie, though.
I wrote a 42...
I mean...
I went through and changed what I wanted to change, but I wrote a 42-page policy in an hour the other day.
Yeah.
Using chat, and then just go through and change
policy makes way more sense for that than
does
the movies we're trying to make. Do you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if we should pull up chat real quick and see what it looks like.
We can fuck around with it.
Just to see like a quick...
It is fun to play around with.
Because Microsoft Edge right now is all AI anyways. Good gosh. Char, I hate this keyboard.
Yeah. Oh, you're trying to chat GPT. That's what you're trying to. I was
trying to type chat, but I was just hitting every button.
Right.
But the ones that I needed.
Yeah.
I have a login already.
I have a login too.
I don't remember what my email was.
Yeah, you have 19 of them. It's really convenient.
I think it was this one.
Nice. I just think that movie would be. I think I could do that, and I think I would love to talk to more people about. I've asked a couple of people that I've worked with, like, because I've thought about the kids I would want to loosely base it off of.
Oh, it's just 3.5. That's fine.
And
hey, we have inappropriate road trip snacks in here.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, I remember when we played around with this.
Okay,
before.
what do you want? A movie?
Movies about caregivers.
About
not a. I don't want a script. I want to see if there are. I want to see what they suggest as movies that exist. Maybe movies. Yeah, movies about caregivers. Yeah. Let's see what it says.
Ooh, it's taking a minute. There are several movies that explore the theme of caregiving, depicting the challenges, compassion, and resilience of those who take on the responsibility of caring for others.
Let's pause for that. Hold on, and then we'll talk about those. I've probably never seen any of them, so I'm pretending they don't exist. But it said, what were the 3 adjectives that we used there? Challenges, compassion, and resilience.
Yeah.
So the challenges of doing it, I think that's one of the things you can talk about. The compassion necessary for the job, I think that you can do that in a way that is not cheesy. It doesn't have to be like, I'm all about breaking down the power dynamic that exists between DSPs and people that I work with, like the kids that I work with and stuff. The more you can get rid of that, the better. Whereas if you're going to talk about the compassion that it takes and all this, you're leaning so far into how good this makes you feel.
Compassion looks differently for people that have special needs also. It's not, oh man, I'm sorry how you feel. They don't, they can't comprehend some of them.
Well,
so it's not when they're throwing a fit, be like, I'm so sorry you feel that way. Sometimes it's not that.
Yeah.
I don't know the industry very well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
it's so funny that you call it an industry. It's so interesting.
Somebody's perception of compassion in that scenario of a kid freaking out and throwing a tantrum would be being nice to the kid and helping them and kissing their ass. So sometimes you have to keep the ice. Sometimes you have to lock them in the room or take their thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the compassion is subjective in this case.
Yeah, it's
because it's not, the world hasn't seen DSPs acting compassionately because it's an atypical form of compassion.
Yeah, it's just so,
portrayal of compassion, I should say.
Yeah, it's just so interesting that I think that there's a certain style. Maybe when I envision a movie that people would probably make about this, it's very like, number one, it's the person. Anytime a person with special needs is in the movie, like. That's what I like about Rain Man.
That's the other nice thing, too, is you can have special needs kids or people in these films.
For sure.
Making money. Peanut Butter Falcon's a great example of that.
For sure.
They had a kid with Down syndrome in the film instead of an actor pretending they had Down syndrome.
I had a really interesting conversation with John one time in the back of my car. He was not in the back of my car, in my car, where it was just recently, a couple months ago. I got really like passionately talking to him about the idea because he loves being on camera and being on screen. Like he loves being on YouTube. We started filming some of these speech therapy things and putting them on YouTube, and I haven't put any up yet, but we're gonna maybe work on that. He just loves the idea. He just loves the shine. He's a showboating ham and ass motherfucker. Yeah. He always has been. And
spotlight.
And I talked to him. I go, if you, because it was the night that we talked about the movie. Remember, I told you about the night where Tree said whatever, it doesn't matter. But it was that night, and so I said I started to really consider about the fact that what if I wanted to make a movie? What if another movie I made was about me and John, or about John, or something about that? And and I said, if you want to be an actor, being an actor is a job, and you need to you're not just gonna get picked because like there's other people that are gonna be potentially getting this role. Like that's a thing that you have to earn, and you need to show up, and you need to. And I got really like into this conversation about and that's when I texted you. I think I texted you that night and said, here's a funny sketch that we could even do for this. Remember we were talking about sketches earlier? This is still a very funny sketch to hold an audition for. Like if I go, I'm going to have somebody play this person. I'm going to have somebody play John in a movie and then have him audition. Like he's not automatically getting the role. I just think that's very funny to go, I need somebody with Down syndrome. Let me audition people instead of just immediately picking him. That's very funny to me. What does that say? Movies about special needs.
I did special needs instead of caregivers.
Yeah, nice. I like that because a lot of the other ones are
just caregivers.
Yeah, they're gonna sometimes be about people that work in retirement. Yeah, Rain Man's
number one.
Yeah, of course. What does it say about it? Directed by Barry
Levinson. This classic film follows the journey of a self-centered man played by Tom Cruise as he discovers that his estranged brother, played by Dustin Hoffman, is an autistic savant.
Okay, yeah, so interesting. The reason
Peanut Butter Falcon's on here.
Yeah, of course.
Second to last. They have a new one called Railway Man.
The Railway Man.
While not directly focused on special needs caregiving, the film portrays the challenges faced by a woman who supports her husband.
Isn't even about that.
Former prisoner of war. He's a POW that has a TBI.
Traumatic. That's PTSD.
Traumatic brain. Oh, I stopped reading it when I saw
yeah, I see that.
Prisoner of war suffering.
Why?
Because usually it's a TBI. PTSD.
Oh, okay. TBI is traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
That's a physical hit to the head or something.
Asa Butterfield is in A Brilliant Young Mind.
Who?
Asa Butterfield. Asa?
That's a person's name?
He's really good, yeah.
Oh, nice. Butterfield? Dr. Butterfield is my principal in first grade.
This guy, he was on all kinds of shit.
That's really true. What I said. Dr. Butterfield. He gave me the Principal's Award.
Have you? Really? Nice.
We'll talk about that in
Have
just
you
a
seen
second.
Ender's Game? Have you seen
What is it called?
Ender's Game?
No.
He was also Astro Boy.
Nice.
He played
I have 20 seconds. Yeah, 25 seconds. Let me tell you about this. So I got a Principal's Award in first grade, and it said everybody in the class, Michael is liked by everyone in class.
Nice. Do you still have it?
I absolutely still have it. It's very interesting how much, we'll talk about this on that really meant a lot to me, and I realized like how interesting that is that he noticed in me that I needed people to like me at that age. Like even at that age, it was really obvious that it was important to me that people liked me.
Fascinating.